Welcome back to the video. This is the part 9 of the game development tutorials. So let's start. In this video, we are going to create the movement for the right paddle. So for that, we need to create a function. We'll create a function named computer movement. And in this function, we'll set up movement for a right paddle, which is the automatic movement. It will move by its own. So first of all, we'll set up a condition. If the position of the paddle to Y is below, is less than means it is above the ball's vertical position, then it should add some amount to its value, so it's increased. So paddle to Y will be equal to paddle to Y plus 6. We are just typing it randomly. We'll check is it proper or not. After that, we'll create one else part. In else, we'll be writing paddle to Y will be equal to paddle to Y plus, once it will be plus 6 and once it will be minus 6 and semicolons. And inside the move everything function, we'll call the computer movement function. Okay, so let's call it computer movement, semicolons, and save, and let's refresh and see. Okay, so now you can see the right paddle is moving on its own. It is attending the ball towards its edges, but the motion is still very rough, and it is like stepping into the value, stepping out of the value. It is trying to get equal to the ball's vertical position. So now what we can do is, for a perfect motion, first of all, we'll let the paddle hit the ball from its center. So first of all, we'll create one variable, which will be variable paddle to Y center, and the value of this will be paddle to Y, which is the starting point of the paddle, the variable that creates the paddle. So the top position plus will add half of the height of the paddle, so it will be at the center, paddle height divided by 2. And over here, instead of paddle to Y, it will be paddle to Y center. Save, and let's refresh. Okay, so now you can see the paddle is attending the ball from its center and not from the edges. Now still the motion is very rough and it is like vibrating. So what we can do is, we can select some part of the paddle, which is the center part. We can select that. We can take from the center 35 pixels above and 35 pixels below. We can take that part to attend the ball and not move from its place when the ball is coming. So it should be stable at that position only. So for that, what we can do is, we can subtract around minus 35 from the ball wise vertical position. And in the else part, what we'll do is, we'll make it if, else if, and we'll make a condition. The condition will be paddle to Y center if it's greater than ball Y plus 35. Okay, so it will be stable at its position, it won't move again and again, it won't vibrate. So this is the condition. Now let's save and refresh. Okay, so now you can see the motion is very smooth and the paddle is waiting for the ball at that movement and then attending the ball very smoothly and swiftly. Okay, so now in the expressions what we can do is, if at all we make a mistake in these two variables, the variable at the right and the variable at the left, if we by chance make a mistake, like we write paddle 1 over here and paddle 2 over here, so what happens is it will cause an error. So for that we have a shorthand syntax. So for that we can write, what we can write is, we can directly write paddle 2y plus equals 6. So what this means is, paddle 2y, add 6 to the original value and the current value should be saved into the variable. So if paddle 2y is 100, 6 will be added to it and 106 will be saved. The new value will be saved into the variable. Okay, so this is a shorthand language. We will also make the changes over here. Okay, and over here also we have those expressions. So what we can do is, we can just cancel out this and write ball x plus equals the speed. So now let's have the scoreboard. For scoreboard, we'll create the scoreboard using the fill text method. For that, in the draw everything section, we'll write canvas context dot fill text. Temporarily we are typing the score stuff script over there. Later we'll change it with the scores, original variables, comma, the position will be 100 from the left and 100 from the top. Save and refresh. Okay, so now you can see the word score stuff over here. It is using the initial color used for all these things, paddle and ball. It is using the white color. So now for two scores for both the players, let's create two variables, the basic thing. Okay, variable player 1 score which will be of course 0 initially, and player 2 score which is also 0. Save. Now we have made the variables. Now it's the time to use. So when the score of player 1 will increase and when the player 2 score will increase. So whenever the ball will touch the left edge, that is the left paddle will miss the ball, it should give a point right player. So over here, when it touches the left edge, we'll write player 2 score plus equals 1. When we are incrementing by just 1, there is one more method we can write it. We can also write it plus plus and semicolons. And over here in the second condition, when the ball is touching the right edge, that is the right paddle misses the ball, will increase the point of the player 1 score and plus plus semicolons. Now we'll place two variables which we created on the canvas. For that, inside the draw everything function, in the place of score stuff, we'll write player 1 score. Just remove the quotes because the quotes will print the word player 1 score, and without the quotes it will print the value of the variable. copy the same line for player 2 score, paste it once again, change the variable to player 2, and the position from the left will be 700. So we can write canvas dot width minus 100 and 100 from the top. So save, and let's refresh our browser now. So you can see the tiny numbers of score are placed over here. When the ball touches the left edge, the point is given to the right player, and when the ball misses the right edge, the point is given to the left player. Okay, so it's working pretty good.